Guess who's back? Back again. Ash is back. Tell everybody. And I'm pretty sure that's how the lyrics go. But that's not what you guys are here for. You are here for this week's review, and this time I'm going to be talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. And I got to give a quick shout out to Warner Brothers and Universal. They put on a spectacular event down at the IMAX Melbourne, Australia, my hometown, because we get things early because we're down under in the southern hemisphere, because our day's ahead. That's also not what you're here for. You're here for me to talk about Beetlejuice. So stick around. I hope you enjoy this review. As I said at the start of this video, before I started rapping, I'm going to be talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, essentially Beetlejuice 2 from the 1980s film starring Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder. And I have a few thoughts about this movie in which I will get into. Let's start off with the premise of the story to get us where we are. If you are familiar with the first movie, you will know who Charles is, and unfortunately Charles has met a tragic demise, which you will find later on throughout the movie. But it has brought everyone back into Winter River, where Lydia and now her daughter Astrid are brought into this cavalcade of a mess, where Astrid discovers the small board of the iconic town that is Winter River, which leads into, a cavalcade of events that involves Beetlejuice and Willem Dafoe's character, who I don't really want to get into too much without spoiling anything away. But yes, Charles's death brings everyone together in a weird way, and therefore bringing back Beetlejuice to come back a second time. Now, I don't really want to give spoilers too much or talk too much about the plot, because it seems like if I talk about a little bit more about the plot, I could give away things pretty easily. I will say this: everyone does a stellar acting job. Michael Keaton returning as Beetlejuice, fantastic. Winona Ryder returning as Lydia, amazing. Jenna Ortega, new to the cast, as Lydia's daughter Astrid, thumbs up all the way. Every actress on this movie, fantastic. Let me start off by saying, unfortunately, this is how I felt about the movie. It is a nostalgia heaven. I really liked it. I liked it for the nostalgia that it brought, especially from the first one all the way through to this new one. And it's been, 40 years in the making. So give or take a few years. So yes, it is a fun movie, but kind of just like, Deadpool, Wolverine, and every nostalgia movie, the plot kind of suffers for it. Now, I understand that Beetlejuice, the first one, didn't really have so much of a plot, as Beetlejuice was just trying to kidnap and essentially get Lydia to marry him. But, and that was essentially the main plot thread of the movie. This movie kind of played on that a little bit more, but everything else around this movie was almost like a side quest. Nothing was important, so there was no real consequence to the movie. In fact, I would go far as say that every subplot of the movie doesn't really even matter. Like, we get introduced to Monica Bellucci's character, who happens to be the ex-wife of Beetlejuice, Willem Dafoe's character, who is an actor who plays a cop, who then ends up being a cop in the afterlife. So all these little side stories, as great and fun as they are, don't really carry anything to make the plot move along or get you invested in the plot in itself. So where do I land on that? Like, I love nostalgia, and I like new things, and I like things maybe coming back, especially for kids, who have never been experienced this kind of thing or this movie before, and it's just hard to put the finger on it, because I love nostalgia, and I love going back to the things that I love, but new things and new stories suffer because of it. So it kind of leaves me tied up a little bit. Let's talk about the graphics of it. There is a lot going on with it, and I think the graphics were amazing. The digital CGI were fantastic. I think the way that you could throw it back with the stop motion and like the sandworm, really well done, because it looked like it was straight out of the original Beetlejuice. So those things, fantastic. Animation, CGI, thumbs up. So it felt like everything around it was fantastic, but the main point of the story was falling flat. Those are my thoughts about Beetlejuice. I want to be fair to you guys, and I really try to look things objectively, because as a moviegoer, I'm hoping you guys are watching these things going, oh, go see it for yourself, obviously, but maybe you sort of fall in the same wavelength as I do, where you're not just living in the nostalgia. But if that's who you are, and then you'll love this movie. If I were to give it a rating, I'd give it maybe a solid 5. 5 to 6, because I'm really tied up with the nostalgia. I don't know why I did that 5 to 6, because I usually rate things out of 5. So I'm going to go back into the scale a little bit and go, if I were to give it a rating, I would give it maybe a 2.5 out of 5 at best, because as much as I love nostalgia, I really expected more from Tim Burton as a story. I loved everything around it, but the main plot falls short, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think maybe there could have been a better plot, maybe more to move the story, maybe less time with Monica Bellucci's character, even though I do adore her, and even though she has virtually no lines in the movie, she was very real presence throughout the whole thing. Could we have done without her? Oh, her character, I don't know. But that's for you guys to watch and decide. Overall, it is still a very enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it for what it was, but as to review it, a bit tricky. That's my personal opinion. My opinion has always been, if you go watch the movies yourself and talk about it in the comments below and tell me what your thoughts are. So that being said, yes, go see Beetlejuice. Fantastic fun, very fun. Kids can even go watch it. Maybe not too young, but children of maybe like 10 up could watch it. But yes, that's my final thoughts. Go watch Beetlejuice. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I'd really love to know your thoughts about it, if you love living in the nostalgia, or if you like to see new things, or if you're a bit of both, kind of like me, and then you get torn up inside, and then you really don't know how to rate things, and you go, oh, but, and then, yeah, you're gonna get stuck. But I guess that's what makes things of reviewing things fun, because then you can see me and my brain just turn inside out. That's a whole other thing. But yes, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I hope you guys have been enjoying them, and tell me your thoughts on Beetlejuice. Go check it out for yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.